Hi everyone, Dave here from Charest Studios, and today I wanted to show you these red cabbage baby greens that I grew. And I'm going to harvest these today, but I wanted to show you guys how I started them. This is a two-tier planter, and I'll have a link in the description of exactly how to make these. Now I know this doesn't give you a huge amount of greens, baby greens, but the idea is that you can cut them and come again. So I've done it with several other types of greens, baby greens, and I've been able to cut, like up to 3 to 4 times and, have it come back for me. Now this is red cabbage, which is a heading type plant, so I'm not sure. This is the experiment is, how many cuttings can I get from something like red cabbage? And normally what I would do is just cut the whole thing down about an inch above the base of the plants. But in this case I have to selectively harvest these bottom leaves. And so I'm going to harvest this today and show you what you get out of one of these little containers. This is like a Rubbermaid container. I believe it's a Rubbermaid 2-quart container. And they come in a set of 3. So, if you did like 3 or 4 of these, you could have quite a nice harvest. Now I'm going to mix these with some of my other microgreens and so forth for a salad. But I just wanted to see how it would do as far as recutting it multiple times. So that's what we'll find out. But also, guys, I wanted to show you this, baby greens planter again. Like I said, I'll put a link into how to exactly make them. But it's basically just an upper container with just probably about 3/4 of an inch of clay pebbles. So you're using very little stuff to grow these, and then your solution in the lower container. And it works really well. I think it's great for baby greens, and I don't know if you could go up into mature plants this way. I designed this for baby greens. Multiple cut baby greens. But yeah, and this idea could be expanded on into a bigger, longer shaped reservoir with some kind of a screen to hold your clay pebbles, or mesh to hold your clay pebbles. So this idea could be definitely taken to another level, to a bigger level. And I think it's definitely worth expanding on this idea. But anyway, this is keeping me happy for now. I probably will try to make a bigger version of this, or just have multiples of this. But I'm gonna set the camera up for a top-down view, and I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this little baby planter and see exactly what we get from this. And I wanted to mention, guys, is that I started these from my microgreens. I pulled a couple microgreens out of my microgreens planter and just stuck them in here. But generally I start from seed. I just fill up my bottom reservoir until the clay pebbles begin to float on the top container, and then I sprinkle my seeds up in there, and that's that. So it's very simple and easy, whether you do it from seed or, in my case, from the microgreens. And I'll show you a clip of when I planted these as microgreens right now. Okay, so I'm going to fill up my clay pebble, my top container. Of course, it's going right down into the bottom container. And this is exactly how much I would put in if I was starting them from seed. Now, maybe I could have used even less in this situation, but I think it'll be fine. Let me show you guys a little bit closer. So you can see it's right up to the top of the clay pebbles. And now I'm just going to see if I can tease a couple of these microgreens out of here. Oh yeah, no problem. And so we'll just go ahead and take, just trying to drop them right in there. I have a little wooden stick here that I'll use to help me get the roots down in there a little bit. And you don't want to push them in too deep, you know. You can see where the root starts. And the plant, you know, the plant ends there. So that's where you want to plant them to. You don't want to plant them deeper. A little bit would be all right, but you don't want to plant them too much deeper. Too much deeper. So I'll go ahead and plant these all up. I'm not going to hold you guys up, but I'm going to put about 10 in there, I guess, something like that. I might need a few more than I pulled the first time. So here they are, all planted. And I didn't put too many in. I've never done it this way before, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Transplanting them in this way. They're a little floppy right now, but I think, there it is. Okay, now my camera is focusing. There they are, guys. I didn't put them in too heavy because, as I said, I want them to get as baby greens, so you need a little space there. And if I planted them too heavy, I can always remove some. Okay, guys, so this is a couple of weeks, I guess. I don't know. 10, 11 days. So just checking on these baby red cabbages. They look like they're doing okay. I didn't see any roots down into the lower container yet. Oh yeah, there are. There's a little bit. Not too much though. So I think once those roots get into that lower container, then we're going to see some real growth. Cabbage are kind of a slow grow. But anyway, guys, that's a little update, and we'll come back and take a look at them when they're ready to harvest. Okay, guys, so let's go in and take a look at this and see what kind of harvest we get. So there they are, guys, and they are a beautiful looking plant. I love the color of the red cabbage. So I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting this, and I'm putting these leaves in my little bowl here. So like I said, I'm going to try to clip from the bottom, and we want to leave that center part, you know, of the plant for sure. Get as much of these bottom leaves, and I'll show you guys what we got left here when we're done. I like these leaves so much, I'm going to take a scan of some of these leaves, I think. Backside is very pretty. And the red pigments, as you guys probably know, are where the antioxidants are, and a lot of these colors is what you want in your diet. You know, as many of the colors as you can get. And what I'm noticing too with this, guys, is very little. Got one leaf that got a little bit of damage here, probably because I might have bumped it into something. But other than that, they're really doing good. No real problems. And I suspect I'll be able to get probably a few harvests out of this too, even though it's a different, you know, it's a different thing than just mowing them down to an inch above the clay pebbles, which is the usual way. But we'll see, you know. So this will be, you know, I'll have an update on these as they grow out again. Now I want to make sure I leave enough foliage for them to you know, to be able to do their thing pretty well. So you have to look around. This is a little bit more careful than our typical harvesting, but I think it'll be worth it. And I want to make sure I get some of these little ones that are down by the clay pebbles. So I'll have a nice little red cabbage salad coming along here. And I'll mix that with some of my microgreens that I have arugula over there, so hopefully that'll go good. So I don't want to go overboard, guys. I think I think I'm going to stop about there. Maybe I'm going to take some of these ones that are sitting down near the clay pebbles, because I'm afraid that they might not do well. You know, they might get damaged from sitting that close to the clay pebbles, the water. Although the water isn't up in this top container at all now, and when I refill, I don't refill up into the clay pebbles. I only do that when they're very small, when they're young. I'll do that. So yeah, for the first week or two that these are growing, first few weeks, I kept the solution almost up to the top of the clay pebble. So I did top it off a few times in the beginning, and then I hadn't touched it in a long time. So that's why you've only got about an inch down in the reservoir now. And I'm going to top that off right now before I put this away. So that's what it looks like now, guys, that it's all trimmed up. And like I say, I'm going to top that bottom container off. And this is what we got, a nice little bowl here. A nice little bowl of baby greens, baby cabbage greens. So not a whole lot, but like I said, guys, you know, this was an experiment, and also, you know, typically you could have a longer container, or you can use the whole set when you buy these. They come, I believe it's a set of 3, and they might even have, I think I bought a set that had three of the small ones and 3 of the big ones. So there you go. You know, that would give you about 3.5 feet of grow space there, lengthwise. So there's the salad I made with one container of arugula microgreens and all those baby cabbage leaves. I chopped them up really fine, and then I made a dressing with 1 mashed avocado, some soy sauce, a little bit of water, and some dehydrated onion flakes, and a little bit of sesame seed on top. And we're going to have that today for our lunch with the Spanish rice and lentils, which I'll have a video up on how I do my Spanish rice and lentil dish that I made up myself, and that we love very much. So if you guys are interested, keep an eye out for that one coming up. Well, guys, that's it for me for today for this video. I hope you're all doing well. There's my little harvest, which I'll be enjoying at lunchtime. And remember, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you next time. Happy growing. Bye-bye.